Hello and welcome to the Voice of Todd. I'm Tom, and today I want to talk about some news that looks like it's just broken on my feed, but came out a couple of hours ago. December, you were so good. You were the best month of the year. We have to talk about a Firefly reboot. They were doing so well. So this, the headline here is Joss Whedon is not likely to return to direct a Firefly reboot. I think that was always going to be the case. Joss isn't in the best light in the Hollywood world at the minute. I don't want to talk about that because I separate the man from the art, and what he's done with his career is, a lot of it is excellent. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, Firefly, Dollhouse, 4 amazing shows of their genre. Firefly, for me, is exceptionally special. It is my number one of everything. I adore it. I watch it every year. Whenever I need a pick-me-up, I go to Firefly or Serenity, and I instantly feel better. I just love the world. I love the cast. It, to me, and other people out there can agree, you can disagree as well, but to me, it is perfection. Obviously, I'm sad that it was only one series and one film. There are graphic novels, there are novels. This is all stuff that I'm slowly starting to pick up and go through now. But as much as I want a season 2, this isn't what I want. And I've just read this about half an hour ago. I had to let it settle a little bit, but this is still very much a knee-jerk reaction. I'm not going to go through the article really, I'm just going to pick out bits. But sources claim, so this is rumour, I am on distractify.com, a website I've never heard of. There's a lot of websites I haven't heard of. And they are quoting someone else who has a source about Firefly reboot being in the making and set for Disney+. So this comes from Giant Freaking Robot, who again I've not heard of, so this could all be false, take it with a pinch of salt. But they have a pretty credible source claiming that a Firefly reboot is definitely coming to Disney+, quoting, "My source tells me that Disney is in early development on a Firefly reboot. The new show would start the story of Captain Mal Reynolds and his crew on board the Serenity over from scratch, with the aim to make this a long-running series on Disney+. The characters that we already know and love are well established not just in the verse but also in modern pop culture, and take them back to the start, virtually erasing everything that has gone before." They continued, and again this is the quote, "There is a twist here, and this twist is what they see the show, and this is that they see the show as an ideal family-friendly programming for Disney+. My source tells me they're planning to target it as a more PG adventure family audience, and less of the sort of PG-13 dynamic the original Joss Whedon show set out for." Not only do they want to reboot and wipe out Firefly like they tried to do with Star Wars, they want to turn it into a kids' family adventure show, which completely goes against everything I love about Firefly. Here they're just touching on how unlikely it is that Whedon, with all of the stuff that's been flung at him, and the accusations that could be true, could be false. I don't know the man. I'm not here to judge. Whatever. But he's not going to be involved, which I don't even think that Joss himself could make Firefly Season 2. I don't think there's anybody out there who would do something like this justice. And the huge want for this to be done right, it's so big that you would just displease so many people by getting it wrong. My personal view, we've got perfection. We don't need any more. As sad as it is to say, I am happy with what we've got, just to know that they're not going to mess it up in any way. But taking it in a family-friendly, happy-go-lucky sci-fi adventure series, that's not the world that we fell in love with. That's not the characters that we fell in love with. There is a note here I just wanted to mention. Actor Nathan Fillion, who everybody knows and loves as Captain Mal, it says he would be all for a reboot with a younger cast. It says he was talking on the Darkest Timeline podcast with Ken Jeong and John McHale. He's quoted as saying, "My dream right now is for them to pick up the universe with some young incredible actors who would go and do such an amazing job and just start doing this great story. And then, much like they did with the revamp of Battlestar Galactica, they start bringing in older cast members from the previous show to come in and start playing roles." That, as a soundbite, is very interesting, because I didn't grow up with the original Battlestar Galactica, but I adore the revamp. And there was a lot of changes, and there was a lot of uproar, and a lot of people didn't like the fact that Starbuck was going to be a woman. But that show worked. That show is one of the best sci-fi TV series ever made. You could go down that route. I do not know. I don't know how anybody can look in the mirror and think that Firefly is perfect for a PG action adventure. The world is so gorgeously dark and twisted, and everyone's so complex. The characters themselves have so much backstory to delve into. This is a knee-jerk reaction. I withhold the right to change my mind. And again, this is all rumour, total speculation from a website, quoting a source. So this could be nothing. I do think that Disney Plus need shows. They obviously bought Fox for a reason. That reason being to pad out the Marvel universe. But I don't think you can do Firefly justice in this climate. And you certainly can't do Firefly justice by cutting out the stuff that went before. The Battlestar Galactica revamp worked because it honoured the series that came before. It paid homage and included the world of the original 80s, sort of late 70s, 80s series. And those events still counted as canon. They weren't touched on, they weren't drawn on, there was no references to any of the characters or anything like that, but that world was still very much at the forefront. The care that Ron Moore put into it, I certainly don't want this. I'd love to know how all you other browncoats feel. I would rather nothing than this. This news broke just before I was about to sit down and watch the latest season, or the latest episode of The Expanse. I've watched the first 3 of season 5 today already. I was going to watch episode 1 again to do a review, but this took precedence because I hate this. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.